Hi there, my name's Zdarsky. I'm a comic writer and artist. I write for such titles as Batman for DC Comics and Daredevil for Marvel Comics. You know, big time pow pow superhero types. But over at Image Comics, I do creator-owned titles, which are books that are owned by the creators involved in the books, the writers and the artists. Well, I do a couple of books there. One is called New Burn. I do that with a young man named Jacob Phillips. It's quite fun. But the book I'm here to talk to you about today is Public Domain. And it's a book that I not only write, but I draw. And it's about a family whose dad created a superhero years ago in comic books. And as a result of that, that character is taken off in popular culture and kind of dominates the silver screen toys, all that jazz, and he never really saw any benefit from that. So this is about him and his family and the reckoning with his legacy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you around the studio, and then talk a little bit about my process in making comics. So all right, let's go. This is my general setup. So you'll notice the way I work is I have two monitors. So on the large monitor, I like to not do work and watch videos and scroll Twitter. So that's where that's where a lot of that magic happens. And over here we have an old Wacom display tablet, a Cintiq, and this is where I do all of my artwork, all the drawing. So it's a pressure sensitive thing, so you can like do stuff here, and you get warnings. I have like reference stuff, things that I did in art school, so I understand how to draw butts and no butts. Any comic artist has a dark closet, which is just filled with his overflow of all the comics that he gets. So we got old comics and supplies and stuff, just kind of bottles of stuff. Yeah, so okay. All right, here's the deal. I'm a nerd, but I don't really own nerd stuff. But I bought this Captain America shield because it's a nice design. And I took it out to play paintball, so it's all scratched up and stuff, and it just made me feel like a real tough guy. So that's why that's here. I always have to apologize for it for some reason. Over here is my work board about all my projects. As you can see, things aren't going well. So if anyone has any work, let me know. A lot of inspiration from a lot of classic artwork, comic book pages from friends, like a Jughead by Walt Simonson. Obviously, I have a fair number of comics, far fewer than most people, because I don't have the space for it. Again, some really lovely art from friends to inspire me, and a comic rack. It was one of the first things I bought when I became a bit of a success, and it's a vintage comic rack, which I put a copy of everything I work on in it. Yeah, it's a lot. I'm gonna have to start giving away for Halloween. What else here? Oh yeah, this is everything I own. Having some I'm having some problems. Yeah, okay, so I'm having some problems at home. And now I'm living in, got a lot of jackets, for comfort. A piano. I'm something of a piano guy. Here. No, that's not it. Just sorry. What's it? 1, 2, B, C. No, it's not. Just no. I'm learning. I'm learning, so I'm not quite there yet. Anyways, that's kind of my passion. And yeah, that brings us kind of back to the setup. So now let me kind of show you what the process is. Okay, so that's the studio, and here's kind of the process of making a comic. So like I mentioned before, Public Domain is a book that I do everything on. I write it, I draw it, color it, letter it. Like anything, it starts off with mostly just me sitting on the couch, trying to think of stories, wasting my time, all sorts of ways. And then I sit down and I write the script. And the scripts are basically like movie screenplays. Just kind of page by page, character says this, character does that, character enters room. I like to print out my scripts when I finish with them, if I'm going to be drawing them, because I tend to do little doodles of the layouts as I kind of go through it, and make changes kind of at that stage. I like to do this because I hate trees. They get in my way, they block my view, so the more trees destroyed, the better. Once I have that done, I move on to the actual layouts, and I doodle them on computer, and then I print them out again because I hate trees. And they're very rough. They're for me, basically, just to kind of know where characters are positioned in a scene, how the pages are going to be kind of divided up, and then I kind of rough in where I think the balloons are going to go. For the dialogue, because that's a key kind of part of a page design, is kind of knowing where those will lie in the end. I tend to shoot a lot of reference. So when I go to a friend's house, I'll get them to pose for me as I kind of take photos of them in different positions to make it easier for me to draw. So having this there as reference is very handy. So those are the kind of opening stages of making a comic, and then we kind of move on to the art side. So I'm going to switch around and show you the stages of art. Okay, so like I said, we're kind of going to move on to the art side of things. As I talked about before, I do like to take reference photos. So for this example, I'm going to show you how I use reference. So very simple. I just use my laptop and I take a picture, and then I bring it into a program called Clip Studio Pro. And I use that as the basis for this sketch of my character. Clip Studio Pro is a manga making, comic making program that a lot of professionals use. It's nice. You can draw directly on the screen. Nice clean lines. You can really get all the fine detail. So once I'm done doing a comic page in kind of the black and white, then I bring it over into Photoshop and I color it. So behind the black line on a different layer, I can color it in. Coloring is a lot of fun. It makes you feel like you're a child again, coloring in the lines, trying to get a bunch of different tones and a real distinct feeling for what's going on. After this stage, where I've colored a comic page, I then bring it into Adobe Illustrator, which is a bit more of a technical vector-based program. And so I can do kind of the lettering on it. So in something like this, I can select all the shapes, and I can add the text that I want the character to say to get their feelings across. And so after this, when all the pages are done, I put them into InDesign and compile them for sending off to press. So once everything's compiled, I show it to my editor, Allison, for mistakes. Image also looks at it for mistakes. And then they put it all together in a tidy package and send it off to the printer. And within just a few weeks, we get back the comic. Like that. So this is the thing that I made, public domain. And as you can see, it's a lot of work. It takes up a lot of time and can be a little hard on your life and your relationships. But in the end, I think it's all worth it. And I hope that you... Hey, what's up? Oh, God. I completely forgot. No, it's I had it in the calendar, but I didn't. Yeah, I was doing a video, so. Well, I mean, it's like it's couples counseling, but at least if one of us goes, we can. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, maybe we can talk about later when I'm. Janice? All right, so there you have it. That's how that's my studio, and that's how comics are made, at least by me. So yeah, check out Public Domain. Order for your library. That'd be great. This is the single issue, not the collection, but you'll be ordering the collection. And yeah, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. It's nice to know that this work means something to people. You know.